had a vision for the destinies of all these characters. I wanted Rarity to get her shop in Canterlot.
So now I can fulfill my dream of opening a boutique in Canterlot! I'm so excited! I think I'm gonna lose my cupcakes!
Can people say the writers aren't accomplishing Lauren's original vision? Who knows, maybe the CMC will get their cutie marks this season. Too much wishful thinking? Alright, so aside from one of Lauren's main goals being addressed, it's finally the end of the hiatus as we return with the first Rarity episode of Season 5, and also the first in a trilogy of Rarity episodes. Must be making up for Season 3 or something. Anyway, let's see how it goes. The episode begins with, as referenced earlier, Rarity finally fulfilling her dream of being able to open a clothing shop at Canterlot. She teams up with Sassy Saddles to manage the shop, but things begin to go against Rarity's expectations when Sassy starts to take up too much control over the establishment. It especially doesn't get any better when Rarity is forced to make the exact same dress over and over and over again because of its popularity because it's Princess Twilight's property. Oh god, do these fuckers ever think for themselves? Some might argue that this is yet another episode where all of the main six and Spike appear in a story that they could have easily been cut out of. But I think it works for two particular reasons. Firstly, this is Rarity's lifelong dream, and her friends must know how important this is to her. I think it's very thoughtful writing as well as supporting their friendship that they would all be there to see the grand opening of something she's worked so hard to gain. Also, even if the other characters are shoved in for a couple of jokes and lines of dialogue that Rarity could have gotten across on her own, their presence is actually very short-lived. So their absence from the rest of the episode prevents them from becoming a distraction from the main story, which still belongs to Rarity. Aside from the episode bringing up the continuity of Rarity's story arc, I actually think it's a very interesting ordeal for her to go through. This is what she's always wanted, and yet she isn't happy with how it turned out. It's a way of showing people not to put too much faith in pursuing a single goal or dream, as it might not live up to your own expectations. A lesson that's difficult for anyone to accept. And while there are reasonable explanations as to why things aren't going the way she hoped, it's still her lifelong goal that she's starting to have second thoughts on. It also helps to note that the conflict also challenges Rarity's strive to be a creative fashion designer. Because a single dress brand became so popular, she's being forced to make the exact same thing detail for detail hundreds of times over. Imagine if you were a creative person who wanted to do imaginative things with their talent, but the workplace you were being placed in won't allow it. Knowing Rarity, this would seriously hurt her, as well as it would hurt any artist who's not allowed to freely express themselves with their creations. The songs were also fairly well executed in the way they were presented. They have all the things a good song should have. They have good music, nice lyrics, a talented voice actor providing the singing voice that manages to match the spirit of a regular voice actor for the assigned character, and they show the progression of the plot in musical form. Showing Rarity's interpretation of what her dream will be like, her heartbreak when she's let down by her own expectations, and renewed hope when she gets to see her dream the way that she originally envisioned. As for Sassy Saddles, she doesn't really come across as likable. Her constant overbearing on Rarity to the point that she's messing up her lifelong dream makes her look very selfish and not even that charming. And that might not have been so bad, except that it's implied that she's done this to other boutiques in the past. I guess it kind of makes sense that she'd act like this, as being part of a fashion department results in a lot of demand from customers and coworkers, but it still could have been less mean-spirited. There's also some nice little bits to enjoy, such as some funny facial expressions, Pinkie Pie trolling throughout the first act, some very beautiful looking animation in select scenes, and even some insight on Rarity's dedication to her work as well as her responsibility. Even when a chance to be helped by the other characters is offered, she's willing to do the work by herself. Because she's an artist, she needs to be able to show that she can manage an assignment by herself. And let's be honest, doing the exact same thing hundreds of times over for several hours has got to be a pain to get through. Finally, Rarity has had enough when she comes to realize that her lifelong dream is being used to benefit someone else and goes against authority, rearranging the shop as she herself intended. The end result with ponies actually liking the variety in Rarity's dresses instead of gushing over a single design helps to address two morals. First, it's that it's okay to like one thing, but having nothing but the same one thing over and over will result in it losing its uniqueness as well as its value. It shows the importance of originality and variety, as well as adding something different to something that's been done 100 times before. The second is that instead of putting so much focus on one thing that you think will make you the most successful, you should understand and appreciate different possibilities, which helps to add variety to your activity, even at the risk of losing what made you so well known to begin with. I actually feel as if this episode is what Suited for Success would have been like if it was fully realized while taking its own distinctive approach. Rarity gets to experience her lifelong goal while being in a position where she has to work with someone else's needs, and also learns an important lesson about how to not put too much into your dream as it could let you down. But if you do get the chance to see your dream come to life, be sure to make it your own, and not anybody else's. It's this important lesson and many other things that makes Canterlot Boutique the long-awaited welcome back to Season 5. MisAnthro Pony, over and out. Oh god, how I missed saying that.
Oh my gosh, Estelle! Do you have the princess dress?
No! We can do it, we can do it, we can help our Cinderella. We can make the dress so pretty, there's nothing to it really. We'll tie a sash around it, put a ribbon through it. When dancing at the ball, she'll be more beautiful than all. In the lovely dress we'll make for Cinderella. Hurry, 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 gonna help our Cinderella. Got no time to dilly.